Did you know that the very gifts, skills, and experiences you already have, they could be the key to creating income and multiplying your impact? The problem is most leaders don't know how to package what's inside of them into something people are ready to pay for. My name is Kimon Hines, and for years I've been helping leaders, pastors, educators, counselors, and other faith-driven professionals turn what they already have into businesses that create both income and impact. I've seen it work over and over again. That's why I created the Monetize Your Ministry Challenge to give you clarity, direction, and a proven path forward. And here's what makes this special. We're focusing on the three primary ways I've seen leaders successfully monetizing what they already have: coaching, writing, and speaking. And I'm not doing this challenge alone. I've partnered with Dr. Myron Edmonds, who's built a six-figure, almost seven-figure coaching business, Athena Shack, a publisher who's helped hundreds of authors turn their stories into books, and Pierre Quinn, an international speaker commanding $20K per engagement. Together, we'll show you the exact steps to do the same. So if you're ready to finally stop spinning your wheels and start creating income with what God has already placed inside of you, join us for the Monetize Your Ministry Challenge. Click the button down below, grab your spot today. We'll see you on the inside. All right, let me start off by asking you a question. Do you feel like you're all over the place at times? You're posting about this one week, next week you're interested in something else, you're passionate about something else, you want to start a business about something else next week, but nothing is really taking off. It feels like you got so many things that you're doing, but none of them are really catching. And you're wondering, why isn't anything paying off like it should? Well, that's what we're talking about in this live today. We've been in this series for this week talking about 5 reasons your expertise is not paying off. We've been talking about that all week long, 5 reasons why your expertise is not paying off. And we've been looking at different reasons. I just want to walk through them for you as we start our live today. My name is Kimon Hines. If you are watching this, I want to invite you to share this. Share this on whatever platform that you're on. Share this with someone else who might be struggling. You might know someone who has a whole lot of different interests, whole lot of different things they are good at, whole lot of different problems they want to solve, and they just can't seem to get traction. Maybe they are hoping that one of them is going to take off, but none have so far. This live, we're going to talk about what you need to do if you feel like you're just all over the place. So I'm going to give you a little review. On Monday, we actually talked about reason number 1. And reason number 1 is you haven't clearly defined what your expertise actually is. It's kind of connected to this, but it's going a little deeper. So today we're going a little deeper. Reason number 2 was your expertise isn't packaged into something that people could buy. And Pierre and I were on, Pierre Quinn and I, we talked about it. And then yesterday we talked about you're waiting for opportunities instead of creating them. Some of us, we are sitting by the phone. We are sitting there waiting for the email for someone to invite us onto their platform, to invite us to speak, to invite us to share. And I'm saying to you, the world is open to you. There's so many spaces that you can create your own stage so that people can hear and experience your expertise. And now today, we're talking about your expertise is scattered. Listen, today's day 4. We got one more day tomorrow, day 5. But today is a big one, and I want to get into it by just saying this. A lot of us, when we talk about feeling like your expertise is scattered, I want to tell you, it is not your fault. Okay, so if you feel like you're all over the place and you got so many different interests and so many things you're good at and so many things you want to do, it is not your fault. This is not me coming on here to beat up on you. I'm just here to just set the record straight, right? Because you are in a helping profession, because you are a ministry driven, service heart driven person, this is why it happens, right? I know that if you've been in ministry, professional, paid ministry as a pastor, or maybe you're teaching in the classroom, maybe you work in the social services, It's made it so that you have to be flexible and adaptable. You have to be able to do a little bit of everything and be good at so many things and help different types of people solve different types of problems. Listen, I pastored for over 15 years, and I know I had to be versatile. I had to be able to visit those who were sick in the hospital, spend time with my senior members, talk to young families, be there for different things, preach messages that would help everyone across the spectrum of my church family. So I had to do a whole lot of different things. And similarly, if you are working in a classroom environment, you have to be able to have multiple skills, multiple interests, multiple passions. If you're teaching a class with just multiple subjects, even. So it can make you scattered because you have to, in that role, help multiple people do multiple things. And maybe that's even what's in the role of your job. You have to do multiple things for multiple topics. You're helping different people, you're exploring different ideas. And what happens sometimes is you start getting to this mode of one day you're on something, the next day you're on something else, the next day you're on something else, and it almost feels like I'm not getting traction. Now, I don't know. Sometimes some of us, we are multi passionate. Listen, you are passionate about multiple things. I get that. Some of us, we read widely, so we have a lot of interest. So you got so many things you're interested in. You're not just one of those people, you have just dug yourself into one thing. You're concerned about a lot of things. You learn a lot of things. You're interested in a lot of things. And I get it. But here is what we want to talk about. You have expertise. And if you have scattered effort, is going to produce scattered results. In fact, sometimes what I believe for a lot of us is we might be expending our energy in so many different ways that we can't really get it focused into one particular way. And so I really want to talk to you today about something called niching down, right? Something called niching down. And we're going to go through that a little bit today. Excuse me. Now, what I want to also just let you know is you have more than one thing, right? Just let's just say it that way. I don't want to take away the multiple things that you do. I don't want you to get rid of all the things that you're interested in. We just now need to figure out our focus and then what to do with everything else. And so, if you're watching this live, we're talking about why my expertise isn't paying off like it should. And today's focus is it feels like I'm all over the place. So here's the real question you have to ask yourself. What's the most profitable problem I can solve? Because if you want your expertise to pay off, you have to align yourself around what's the most profitable problem I can solve. Now, when we talk about profitable problem, there are really two sides of that. It is in terms of the problem. So, what problem that I have the ability to solve is the biggest one that that I have the ability to solve. But then on the other side, which of that, as I'm solving that problem, which audience do I can I take this problem to, or has this problem that is the most willing to pay for its solution? So I got to find the biggest problem that I have an audience willing to pay to fix it. Now, some of the things that we have that you are interested in, you're passionate about, you care a lot about, and you're even good at. Some of them might fall into different categories. Some of them might be hobbies. Okay. There's some things that are hobbies, and that's okay. There's some things you do it because you enjoy doing it. There's some topics that you read about, you study about, you even talk about it with people, right, in your circles because it's a hobby. And that's okay. I'm not telling you get rid of your hobbies. Stay interested, stay curious, stay connected with those things that you're interested in that are hobbies. And then there's some ideas and some things that are interests that are not for now, but are for your later. All right. So you might have an idea, I want to do this particular thing, but it doesn't fit in to your most profitable problem. I'm saying to you, it does not mean that you can't do it. It just means you can't do it now. Now, let me tell you a little bit more in terms of why I'm having this conversation with you. Good morning, Tanera. You're saying, I'm searching for what I'll be able to stick with and stay passionate about. All right, let me talk to you a little bit. And for all of us on here, again, if you get value with this, please share this. I'm going to take you back to, and Dr. Myron Edmonds will be joining me tomorrow for day 5. But I remember when we started working together, everything I'm saying here about multiple interests, multiple passions, multiple things that good at, that was him. He was a pastor of a local congregation, a thriving congregation with multi-generational people, multi-generations there, community interests, church interests, a lot of different things. And because of that, one of the hardest things for him to do in our work was to say, this is the problem I'm going to solve, and this is the group I'm going to solve it for. In fact, he was like, but I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. And I think what he was saying is the same thing a lot of us are saying. Let's just call it what it is. If I niche down and I get known for one thing, for one particular group, am I going to miss out on everyone else, right? Like I'll be leaving money on the table, which is the thing that we say you don't want to do. Will I be boxing myself in? Come on now, if y'all can relate to me, let me know. Will I be limiting my reach? Will I limit my money that I can make because I'm only talking to one group and solving one problem? I want to be doing a lot of different things all at the same time. And here is one of the realizations that he came to, Dr. Myron. He'll be sharing with us tomorrow. One of the realizations he came to is in niching down to men, family men who are religious, faith-driven, who want to win in the things that matter, who are struggling because they're publicly successful but privately failing, right? That's the lane. What you recognize is it's not limiting, it's actually expansive. There are so many more layers beneath what you think when you actually start niching down into a particular audience. So I want to tell you, you might feel like, Kimon just wants to box me in. I got so many things I want to do. But no, I want it to be expansive for you as you become niche down, as you become narrowly focused, because it's going to help you to get more out of your expertise. If your expertise is scattered all over the place, it will not be able to pay off for you like it should. And that's really my heart for you. I want you to make the most income and the most impact from the expertise that you've gathered through your knowledge, through your learning, through your experiences, and I want you to make the most and get the most out of it. And so I want to talk to you about one of the things that I see is a lot of us have a struggle with message discipline. Now, here's what I need you to understand. You need to be able to say the variations of the same thing over and over and over again, even when you get tired of hearing it. Because when you get tired of hearing yourself say the thing that you've been saying, that's when some people hear it for the first time. That's when some people actually understand it for the first time. That's when some people get it for the first time. And I'm going to go back to Myron. We started off with him talking to men about the areas and the issues that matter to them. And at some point, it was like, man, I want to actually talk about other things. And when he did, it didn't quite work out, because here is what starts to happen in people's mind. People start asking, what do you really do? Who do you really help? What problem are you really solving? And the human mind can only hold so many things. We can only make so many associations with you. So if you do too many things, we cannot hold all of the things that you do in our brain when we're making a Rolodex we're making a file of what we associate with you. So if you do this and this and this and this, we'll drop some of them, and you may not want us to drop the one that we're dropping. So my point is, you want people to be able, when they hear your name, to be able to say, oh, she works with that group, and that's the problem she solves. Simple. You don't want it to be complex. You don't want it to be a whole lot of things, because people won't remember. And if they don't remember, they can't refer you. If they don't remember, they can't do business with you. If they don't remember, they can't make a recommendation to someone else to work with you. And so what I want to really emphasize to you is to stay message disciplined. In fact, that'll be one of my points. So let me get into 3 steps to stop being all over the place. I want to get into 3 steps. For those of you who feel all over the place, I want to give you 3 steps to become more aligned so that you can have more income and more impact. And trust me, this is going to be helpful for someone. So I'm going to put some notes up here. The first one, in order to become more, stop being all over the place, become more aligned, is to pick one primary lane. Pick one primary lane. Somebody say pick one in the chat. Just type pick one in the chat. Pick one. I'm saying that so that you can hear it. And when you type it, it will help you remember it. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one. Listen, I've said that line so many times in my coaching, so many times in my working with people. Pick one. Here's why. Because a lot of people, they struggle with, I don't want to pick the wrong one. And that is what stops a lot of us. We think, if I pick something, what if I pick the wrong thing? What if I pick the wrong expertise? What if I pick the wrong audience? I don't want to mess that up. And then I'm going down the road on the wrong thing for so long. So let me stay doing all of the stuff. And then let me just see which one takes off. And you already know you can't balance more than one plate. If you try to spin more than one plate at a time, you're going to drop them all. So I want to give you a way to pick one. Thanks to Nara. Pick one. Here's a way that you do it. I want to give you a filter. So you look at the problems. Go back to Monday, what we talked about. Look at the problems people are already asking you for help with. Look at the things you've already overcome. Look at the things that your heart calls out to when you see others with that problem. And now once you have that list, I want you to go through and rank the things that are on that list by two different numbers, right? The first number, 1 to 5, 5 being the most, 1 being the least, is which of these am I most passionate about, right? 5, I'm most passionate. 1, I'm the least passionate. 5 to 1 with that whole list. And then once you're finished ranking your list that way, I want you to go back down the same list and just rank it by which problem am I most able to solve? Am I most able, like if I'm very able to solve it, put a 5. If I can't solve this with my knowledge, with my connections, with my network, put a 1. And when you look at the problems people are asking you to solve, you look at your interest in solving them and your ability to solve them, and you rank it using that, the intersection of that will give you good options. And now it may not give you just one option, but once you get there, here's what I want to tell you. Feel free to pick one of them, knowing you're picking from good options, and you could put the others to the side for later. I may have said this on another live, but I'll say it here. Everyone now knows Bishop T.D. Jakes for a whole lot of things. He's done MegaFest and Manpower. He's done things on entrepreneurship. He's doing another podcast now. And I'm talking about outside of his role as a pastor. But when he was doing his first outreach, his first expertise, moving it out into the marketplace, he started with something called Woman Thou Art Loosed. And he was speaking to women, right? A problem that probably he had been passionate about seeing others with their struggle. Women who were bound. That was their problem. And he kept saying that. He wrote a book on it. He would talk about it. He would do conferences on it. And what happened is became known for that. And after he became known for that to a point where it was like, wow, he's everywhere, then he added other things and other interests to it. And that's the simple point I'm making to you. You got to start with one thing in the beginning before you branch out into a lot of other things. Now, point number 2, which is how do I stop myself from being all over the place, is build message discipline. I've touched on this before, but I want to spend a little bit more time. Once you know this is my lane, this is the problem I solve, you got to start sharing a message that is consistent with that, a message that speaks to your audience, and a message that speaks on that topic of the problem that they have and the solution you're looking for. And what you need to do is do it consistently, do it repeatedly, do it over and over again. You're talking about the same problem. You're talking to the same audience. You're talking about the same type of solution. And you might feel to yourself, this is getting redundant. Let me tell you something. Let me just start by this. I'm going to look, we're going to talk today. All right. And if y'all are watching this, just let me know. Put yes in the comments so I know that y'all are tracking with me, even if you're watching this on the replay. Here's what I want to tell you. When you first start sharing your message, the first few times you share it, I don't know how many, you may not have many people listening. When I'm talking about sharing it online, I'm talking about even if you're sharing it in person, you may not have a lot of traction from people's engagement. And here is why. The first few times you share that message, it is not for you. For them, it's for you. You have to keep hearing yourself say it so that you get clearer at sharing that message. So if you're talking to moms who have a particular challenge and you start sharing that message, the first few times you share it, yes, you might get some engagement, but you, the person that is the main audience at that time is you, because you need to hear yourself speak your message out loud so you get clearer with it. Then other people start hearing it. And then they hear, let me tell you what people do. They hear you the first time, they make a brief mental note, but then they kind of move on. And they want to see if you are going to be consistent with it so that they can actually follow along and invite others to come check you out. They want to know if they tune in to what you're sharing, that you are going to stay with this topic for the long haul and you're not just going to be on something else. And let me say this to some of us on here, you have a platform, you have a way to share your message, you got these social media platforms, and you are not using it in the right way. You have expertise, but you are posting all sorts of other stuff that people can't follow to figure out what is the thing she is really interested in, what is the problem she's solving, who is her audience, what is the thing he wants to do, what is the problem he's solving, what is the thing that he wants to be known for. And I just want to tell you, stay sharing the same message. Say it over and over again. Say it in different ways. Say it until you get tired of hearing it, and then keep saying it some more. And then here's what's going to happen. You're actually going to get more depth to your knowledge. You're going to find more ways and more things to talk about, even under the same umbrella, because you're practicing message discipline. And here is the result of message discipline. I want to, if you were able to, and if you knew my friend, Dr. Myron Edmonds, before 2020, and you were to, I would ask you, what was his passion? What was the thing he was working on? There were so many things. There was social justice. There was, the advancement of different things and creative ministry. And he is still passionate about those things. He is still. But if I were to ask you now, and you follow him, what is his thing that he is interested in and passionate about? I don't think anyone on here would say anything other than helping men. Why? Because he practiced message discipline. He kept talking to men over and over. He kept sharing clips on, messages on when he's preaching, when he's speaking, doing conferences on the same topic to the same audience over and over and over again, until the point now that you can't think about him and not think about the work he's doing. And that's what I want for you. You have to get to the point where, one, you hear yourself and you are convinced this is my thing and you are clear on it. Two, the people who started tuning in realize you're going to be here for the long haul, so now I can invite my friend. And three, anyone else who finds you immediately can tell this is their thing. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to keep the names private for purposes of whatever. So a friend of mine was talking on a particular topic. It was during a time when people were looking for experts and resources on it. And I told another friend, if you're looking, you asked me, I'm looking for resources. I said, check out this guy's content. He went over to the guy's content and he said, is this the same person that you were telling me about? Because he is talking about something totally different. And I went and I looked for myself, and he was right, because the person was not practicing message discipline. They were using their platform as, I don't know, a collage, as a buffet, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And they lost a potential, not just follower, but a potential client that day. So if your expertise is not paying off, we need you to, and let me go back. Wow, y'all got me, Tanera, y'all got me preaching this morning, right? Pick one primary lane, build message discipline, and finally, make one clear offer. Make one clear offer. After you've picked a problem and people start hearing you, their question is going to be, what else do you have? How can you help me? What can I pay you for? What is the one thing that you are offering consistently? And that's what I want to encourage somebody. Look, you don't have to be Cheesecake Factory with your business when you get started. You don't. You don't have to have multiple pages of offerings where people are sitting there going, I don't even know what to get. I want you to be so clear on my problem, my person, my message, and then this is my offer. And you just keep hammering, this is my offer. At some point, you're going to add other layers and other levels, but you just stay on that. This is my offer. This is the thing that I'm leading with. I have a coaching program. This is what I'm leading with. I have a speaking talk that I want to give. This is it. I'm doing a group program and doing a retreat. This is my offer, and I'm sticking with this until the people who are following along start really latching on to the next step and going to the next step and going to the next step. And yes, everyone's not going to follow along. That's the way funnels work. That's the way people make decisions. More people are going to consume your free stuff than buy your offer. But if you keep consistently having that one offer, more people will than if you weren't consistent. All right, I'm seeing a comment over here. Let me grab that. Gamal, what's up this morning, my brother? Good morning. So we're talking about what happens when I feel like I'm all over the place. And I want to tell you, yes, you have a lot of expertise. You have a lot of things that you're good at. But in order for you to make the most income, hear me now, I believe heart-centered people, mission-driven people, faith-driven people should be people who make the most income from what they have. Here is why, because you're going to do the most good in the world when you make it. And so I make no apologies with saying, no, maximize your earnings from the expertise you bring to the table. Maximize your impact in the world. Help the most people. But one of the things that may be holding you back is you're all over the place and you are passionate about this tomorrow and that tomorrow, and your social feed reflects it. And I'm saying to you, pick one problem, pick one audience, stick with it, share that message, share it over and over. You might say to yourself, I've said this before. Trust me, someone will say, that was so good. It is exactly what I needed. Here's why. I grew up, man, y'all got me really telling stories today. I grew up when I first grew up in Trinidad, we had one station, and then we were so excited we got a second, and then we got a third. Well, we had one station, which meant that they knew that everyone who was watching television at the time, and y'all don't judge my island, everyone watching television at the time was watching that one channel, channel 13. Well, they understood that if you are consuming media, it's them. So if they repeat something, people would know because it's the one station. But here's the truth. They repeated stuff. But here's the point I'm making. People aren't watching all of your stuff. You're not a television station. You don't have the monopoly on this person's attention. So they're not catching everything you say. And even if they hear it, they don't gather it and hear it all at the same time. So what I'm telling you is repetition is your friend. Say your message. Say it again. Say it in different ways. Provide it in different types of content. But keep on saying it over and over again. Practice message discipline. And then have one clear offer that you start with. One clear offer. Listen, you might think that what I'm saying today is going to limit your income. This is going to explode your income. If you do just the stuff we talked about today and marry it with the other stuff this week, it will explode your income because people will begin referring you because you'll become known as the expert in that particular thing that you've niched down on, that you've been consistently sharing messages on. That is the thing that will blow up your income. So I want to just encourage you to stop feeling all over the place and pick a lane, get consistent with your message, create an offer. Now, I talked about three things today, so I need your help. Picking one primary lane is one, building message discipline is two, making a clear offer is three. Which of these is most challenging for you right now? Picking one primary lane, you can put one in the chat. Building message discipline, put two in the chat, or making one primary offer. If that's the most challenging for you, put three in the chat. I want to know one, two, or three. Which of these is most challenging and you need help with right now? One, two, or three. If you're even watching this on the replay, put one, two, or three. I'd love to know which, if it's picking the lane, building message discipline, or making one clear offer. Which of these is most challenging? And while you're doing that, all right, I see somebody posted. There's Gamal says three, making one clear offer. Anybody else? What is most challenging for you right now? While you're sharing that, I want to share that you don't have to try to figure this stuff out on your own. I know for myself, I needed help. I needed feedback from others. I needed to talk it out. I needed to get others to kind of give me feedback on it. Hey Fred, how you doing? Happy belated birthday. Number three, you said. And what I realized is sometimes you even need to be in a community of people who are wrestling with that at the same time. And that's exactly why we created the Monetize Your Ministry Challenge, because there are people like you on here, heart centered, faith driven, helping people, but you don't quite know what your thing is, what's how to build message discipline, how to create a clear offer, how to put it out there into the world. And we want to help you do that. So it's not myself only. I'm actually partnering together with three other high powered coaches, Dr. Myron Edmonds, Pierre Quinn, Athena Shack, and they've all done the thing that we're talking about. Picked a lane, got consistent with their message, created an offer, and they're now leveling that up in the marketplace through speaking, writing, and coaching, which is what we're going to cover in this challenge. And so, if you have not signed up for this challenge yet, what are you waiting on? The link is monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. In fact, I'm going to ask someone, just type that link in the chat, monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. It'll make it easy for someone to click. Monetize Your Ministry Challenge. Here's what it is. It starts on Sunday, March 22nd. We're going for 5 days, and we're going to cover helping you figure out what's your lane, right? If you're struggling with that number one, what's your lane? We're going to help you figure out what's your message, because for a lot of us, we don't have message discipline because we don't know what our message is. So we're going to help you figure out what your message is. And we're going to help you work on creating an offer, something you can put out into the marketplace to say, here's how I can help you. Here's the transformation that's involved. Here's the price. So we're going to help you create an offer in that. And then we're going to actually show you the ways that you can do that through different avenues, through speaking to widen your impact, through coaching to deepen your impact, and through writing to lengthen your impact. So all three of these, you get 4 coaches, 5 days, 2 hours a day, one for training, one for coaching. You get the replays for 7 days. You get community that you're posting in and getting feedback in. All for VIP is only $49. Now, why is it $49? Because I just turned 49, so that was the price I chose. Y'all don't want me to keep doing this challenge until I'm 60 because the price gonna keep going up. But it's $49 now for VIP. Make sure you sign up and make sure you share this. Share this live just so that someone can get the message and the value we shared today. And someone may not know about the challenge. So let them know. You know that they have expertise. You know they have knowledge, and they are not doing as much with it like they should. And you want to be a good friend, you want to be an investor in their business, help them out by sharing this challenge with them. You saw the graphic. I'll put it up one more time. monetizeyourministrychallenge.com, March 22nd to March 26th. We're doing 5 days. And if you can't make it live for every day, if you do the VIP, you get the replay for 7 days. And those of you who've been in the challenge will tell you, they will tell you that you want those replays. I know people are always asking, can we get it a little bit longer? So we're doing a full 7 days. All right. You don't have to wait. Ask us, can we get it till Sunday? We're doing a full 7 days. If you do the VIP, it's only $49. It's an investment in you and what God has placed on the inside. All right, listen, tomorrow I'll be back with reason number 5 why your expertise isn't paying off. What's up, Matthew? Tomorrow I'll be back with reason number 5, and I'll be joined by a guest, Dr. Myron Edmonds. Listen, I would have had Athena Shack on this week, but she's on spring break with her kids. But she's going to be locked and loaded with us for our challenge next week. So you heard from Pierre earlier this week. Myron's going to be on tomorrow. And we start our challenge on Sunday. So some of you who like waiting for the last minute so that you get that last minute purchase rush, now's the time. Get in now so that you can be ready, locked and loaded. We've been sending out stuff before to prepare you for the challenge. Sign up, monetizeyourministrychallenge.com, and we will see you. We will see you on Sunday. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Make sure you share this with someone who needs to benefit from it and sign up for the challenge. Let's go. Let's go, Arsenio. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Lock in. I love it. I love it. Lock in. All right, let me play this video and we will be out. Did you know that the very gifts, skills, and experiences you already have, they could be the key to creating income and multiplying your impact? The problem is most leaders don't know how to package what's inside of them into something people are ready to pay for. My name is Kimon Hines, and for years I've been helping leaders, pastors, educators, counselors, and other faith-driven professionals turn what they already have into businesses that create both income and impact. I've seen it work over and over again. That's why I created the Monetize Your Ministry Challenge, to give you clarity, direction, and a proven path forward. And here's what makes this special. We're focusing on the 3 primary ways I've seen leaders successfully monetizing what they already have: coaching, writing, and speaking. And I'm not doing this challenge alone. I've partnered with Dr. Myron Edmonds, who's built a 6-figure, almost 7-figure coaching business, Athena Shack, a publisher who's helped hundreds of authors turn their stories into books, and Pierre Quinn, an international speaker commanding $20K per engagement. Together, we'll show you the exact steps to do the same. So if you're ready to finally stop spinning your wheels and start creating income with what God has already placed inside of you, join us for the Monetize Your Ministry Challenge. Click the button down below, grab your spot today. We'll see you on the inside.